Yo, Elon Musk has been risking his life unearthing this fraudulent spending and a bureaucratic culture which have been defying the orders of the president for several decades over several administrations. Basically, the president, who represents the people, will give directions to the different branches of the government, but they pretty much just been doing whatever they want to do, which is what we call YouTube a bureaucracy, as Elon Musk explains in this Fox interview with Larry Kudlow. Um, Look, it's a 17-minute video, but I break it into sections. Musk has literally been under attack. His Tesla charger stations and dealerships have been vandalized and protested against. His car sales in Canada have 100% tariff, which have made his stocks plummet. SpaceX was cyber attacked from Ukraine today, and all Elon has been trying to do is do his job and cut the federal budget in half. Like he said, he simply started by following the money. That's right. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get right to it.
All right, we welcome to the show and a special interview with Mr. Elon Musk, who, of course, is famed Trump advisor, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, chair of X Corp. Elon, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I want to begin, but among other things, everyone's attacking you for your position. What are you doing in the government? There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced.
Yes.
It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
So that's your suspicion. Is the website, is the internet up? Is it up yet?
It's up, yeah.
It's up yet. Okay, good. But I just was looking back. Let me just see if I get this right. They're setting fire to various Tesla charging stations near Boston. Shots were fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Various nonviolent.
Shots fired, not a metaphor.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, yes. Downtown New York, marching against the Tesla showroom. Your stock is way down. You've been criticized left and right.
But look on the bright side.
I mean, why are you doing this?
Always look on the bright side of life.
Yes. I'm an optimist.
But besides that,
Yes. I mean,
how's your day?
what motivates you to do this?
Was the opera good?
It's tough sledding.
Yeah, it is tough sledding. But I think we're doing the right thing here. There's been a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. When you're part of the government, you saw a lot of that, and there's been if you look at the Inspector General reports and the Government Accountability Office, there have been many audits that have pointed out that there's a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. In fact, there was a report issued by the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, last year. So during the Biden administration, which estimated the federal government fraud to be $500 billion. So just to be clear, that's not a Trump administration thing, that's a Biden administration thing. So what we're trying to do is get that number down to a much smaller figure, save money for the American taxpayer, stop money being spent on things that I think very few taxpayers would agree make sense.
Like what, Elon?
Transgender animal surgeries, or why are we spending money? Why are American tax dollars being spent on this?
Exactly.
And the president's gone through a long list of absurd things. Why are the 20 million people who are definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database?
Yeah, why is it? That doesn't make sense.
Were hundreds of millions of dollars of small business administration loans were given out to people aged 11 and under, according to
SBA loans to 11-year-olds? Yo, and check this out. So Musk, he continues to accuse the Social Security Administration of fraud. And like you see, he just noted how the Social Security Inspector General, he did this report during the Biden administration where he said $500 million, but it was like 700 billion in improper payments from 2015 to 2022. They paid more than 20 million people who are unalive. The current acting Social Security Commissioner, his name is Lee Dudick. He said that these benefits were not necessarily sent to those dead people. Yeah, I bet they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, like these must be some very enterprising 8-year-olds, you know.
That's a pretty strong 150-year-olds.
Right,
Yes,
right.
exactly. As the president said, you know, we have an enormous number of people marked as alive who are 160. He didn't know the country was that healthy.
Yes, yes. So demystify this. How do you do it? Okay, how big is your team?
Yeah.
Where'd you recruit most of them from? And what is it that makes you choose, you know, the Treasury or Social Security or USAID? How does it work? Let the public know, please.
Right. Well, we just basically follow the money. You know, we look at the president's
That's
executive
it.
orders, and we also just follow the money. So we started looking closely at USAID because they were completely violating the president's executive orders to suspend
Foreign spending.
foreign aid. You know, what's called
Period.
foreign aid, but in our view is a lot of corruption. So what we saw there is just a tremendous amount of money being sent to non-governmental organizations. But actually, this, by the way, is I think one of the biggest sources of fraud in the world is government-funded non-governmental organizations. This is
NGOs.
a gigantic fraud loophole where the government can give money to an NGO, and then there are no controls over that NGO. So they've given billions of dollars, in fact, we estimate tens of billions of dollars to NGOs.
And yo, and check this out. This has been going on. I'm talking about for decades and decades. And like he's going to point out, a lot of presidents be like, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. But these bureaucrats have not been following the instructions of the president. So that's why we have to rearrange every executive branch. It needs to be under the control of the president, and the president represents the people. And that's what we call a democracy. And that's how we can have a democracy.
Are essentially scams. And
By the way,
we're trying to put a stop to that, you know. So
I don't
That
want to
part.
interrupt, but Secretary of State Rubio has just come out, I think he tweeted today, he has accepted over 80% of your recommendations to shut down in USAID.
Right.
So your review and analysis was spot on.
yes, so I think when people criticize, say, what DOGE is doing, we say, well, which part specifically? Because we put all of the actions of the DOGE team on the doge.gov website
Every
and
day.
on the DOGE handle on X. So we post the receipts. So it's like this action has been taken, this action has been taken.
Yeah, what are you
So
mad about?
When we get criticism, we say, like, of what? Which line do you disagree with? Like which
Exactly.
which cost saving do you disagree with? And then people usually can't think of any.
No.
You know, so
It's transparent line by line,
it's transparent line by line.
which is quite remarkable.
Right. And so, and then with respect to the Treasury, for example, the two main recommendations we suggested, which have now been implemented, was that any payments going out of the Treasury, especially the Treasury's main payment computer, which is called PAM, things like a payments account manager or something like that, but it's like almost $5 trillion a year, so about $1 billion an hour, that the payments be coded with the congressional appropriation, and that there be an explanation for the payment.
But they've been
Very basic
overriding
stuff.
this.
And just doing that
By
will
saying it's an
save
emergency.
$100 billion a year.
You're not really, let me see if I get this right, particularly with Social Security, you're not really changing policy.
No, yes.
You're auditing the fiscal mechanisms to make sure that, you know, from point A gets to point B, and that's where it's supposed to get to. In some cases, it doesn't get there, or in some cases, it may go over there. But that's it's not a policy exercise. You're not changing laws. You're just doing what any business would do in a profit and loss audit.
Period.
I think what really, what we're adding here is caring and competence. And
common sense.
There's a massive amount of fraud of basically people submitting Social Security numbers for Social Security benefits, unemployment, small business administration loans, and medical, where those are fake social security numbers, or they're stolen somebody else's social security number, and we're trying to put a stop to all of that. And that's the number which is estimated to be on the order of 10% of federal expenditures, which is, half a trillion dollars.
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
You're working with the agency heads. You're working with the cabinet secretaries.
Yes.
I saw Howard
Facts.
Lutnick was on TV yesterday saying you were partnering with them. Is that fair?
Yeah, what we do is in consultation with the cabinet secretaries and with their departments. So we're really trying to be we'll refer to ourselves as tech support.
Mm-hmm.
We're really helping the department get a handle on things, because what actually happens here is you've got this sort of vast federal bureaucracy, and then you've got a very thin layer on top of the politically appointed officials. And what tends to happen is that the bureaucracy, frankly, is in control. And they largely ignore the politically appointed people.
Why should the bureaucracy?
I'm sure you must have seen that.
I've lived with this twice. I worked for Reagan many years ago, and I worked for Trump in the first term.
Yeah.
It's like a permanent bureaucracy. I might add, it's a permanently liberal bureaucracy.
Yes, very much so.
And it's not a bureaucracy that necessarily enforces or implements presidential policy.
They don't. In fact, they try their best to thwart presidential policy. So the president is the elected representative of the people. And if the president cannot get things implemented as a reflection of the will of the people, then what we have is not a democracy, we have a bureaucracy. We have rule of the bureau, not rule of the people. And that's what we're trying to defeat here, is the bureaucracy and have rule of the people.
Yo, bureaucracy. That's what we're trying to defeat here, YouTube, and have a country that's ruled by the American people. It's so simple. That's what Elon is risking his life trying to bring us, y'all. And what's crazy is that Elon's stock was rising. It was soaring during the days following the election after he took the position, the high-profile position as Trumpito's advisor and the head of DOGE. But those gains have evaporated to a 5-month low. His net worth went from $380 billion to $319 billion. Praise God that Elon does not care about money. He's still by far the wealthiest person on earth, but he's strictly been focused on the government, which is probably the main reason why companies like Van Landen, which is a multi-billion-dollar company that owns more than $1 billion in Tesla shares, they've been publicly voicing that they want somebody else. They want him to stand down or appoint somebody else to be a full-time employee. But I think, Elon, maybe you should consider focusing back on your businesses, because this journey following this money down this rabbit hole could be the most dangerous journey you have ever taken in your life, Elon. Because, like I said, I don't think these are Americans protesting outside of Tesla dealerships or burning down Tesla charger stations, because we're not mad at you, Elon. It's the people that you're taking these billions from. They're the ones burning up Teslas, buddy. It's not us, man. Just be safe out there. YouTube, that's not you out there, Tesla burning up chargers. I bet not find out that's you, YouTube. Tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.